Hey folks, all doing? Hero of None here with your Mundus Minute on March 11th, 2022. ESO news, lecture merchant, and gold merchant stuff all in a few minutes. So first up in the news. Update 33 is coming on March 14th. When it's going to be finished, we don't really know. These patches could take just an hour, or it could take a few hours, depending on what happens. To note, when this comes down, we're going to get 2 new DLC dungeons. We're going to see some more of the hybridization of various classes, so some of your builds may change. And account-wide achievements are also coming. There's been no new updates on PTS since then, so I've got to assume that what is there is what is coming. I'll leave a link down below for all the information with that, as well as some of the guides to the Ascending Tide DLC dungeons for you to take a look at. Meantime, let's take a look at the Luxury Merchant and the Golden Merchant for this week. So first up, in the Luxury Merchant, we have an Amigo Core, Clockwork Alchemy Flask, Alchemy Rack, Clockwork Coffer, vertical, Clockwork Pot of Crystals, Clockwork Triniton Stand, and a Specimen Jar with a glass dome. Can't actually put anything in it unless you just like kind of move it around. All of them not bad, at least they're not expensive. If you have a Clockwork theme house that you want to decorate, might be the best use for those. Now for the Golden Merchant, for 150k, proof of Trinimac's Valor. When you cast a damage shield, you call down a fragment of Trinimac that heals you and your group members for 3025 health and damages enemies for 2966 magic damage and 5 meter radius for after a 2-second delay. That can occur once every 5 seconds and scales off your max magical or stamina. I'd probably skip this one. It doesn't really appeal to me. The healing is kind of poor, the damage is kind of poor, even when they're combined, and the delay on it makes it so it's not going to be useful that useful inside PvP, it seems. In addition to that, you can also get this from Rothgar if you really want to get it. Prisoner's Necklace for 150k. At its feet, 5-piece, reduces the cost of sprinting by 50%. While sprinting, you also restore 1035 magicka every 1 second. I'd probably say this is useful for certain builds. Say a Sork, for example, which can sprint, then bolt escape, sprint, then bolt escape. Every time you're sprinting, you're getting magicka back. Every time you're bolt escaping, you're getting yourself further away from enemies, if that's what you're doing. Do you need to get the gold version? Maybe or maybe not. It is easy to get out of Cold Harbor, and you can probably find this on vendors if you want it for cheaper. For 250k, Necklace of the Undaunted Unweaver. When you use an ability that costs stamina on your combat, you'll increase your damage with light attacks and heavy attacks by 1685 damage for 10 seconds. This is actually kind of hilarious. I did do a build with this, with a no weapon build, basically, with this one and the Undaunted Infiltrator set, and basically was able to just punch things to death because of this. This is going to change next patch though, and it's going to be scaling up your weapon damage for your light attacks and heavy attacks instead, so it's not going to be as useful. But yeah, this flat stat right here was kind of a meme during this patch. Going away Monday. If you want to grab it, maybe you want to get it. If you want to get this out of the dungeon, I believe this one is out of Blackheart Haven. I believe. I could be wrong. Jailer's Necklace. When you lose 7,000 or more health from a single attack, you gain major vitality for 8 seconds, increasing your healing received by 16%. I'd say probably skip this one again. You can get this one out of Silver Moon Keep if you really want to get a hold of it. Maybe if you don't have the DLC, you want to get it. But it's not really one that's like a huge... It's not a huge meta one, to be honest. So maybe you want to skip that. For 100k, you can also get Marshalock's Arm Cops and Sentinel Rakamzan's Arm Cops. I'm going to say both of these aren't ones that you really want. But if you're trying to fill up your sticker book and you don't want to use a whole bunch of keys, maybe you want to pick these up. Up to you. Anyway, I'm Hero of None. This was Minute. I will see you all in Tamriel. Later. Also, catch me on Twitch, Twitter's at Hero of None, and we're streaming almost every night after 9, except for Mondays and Thursdays.